And the importance of this means that you don't even see a second or a minute of downtime at all. Not wait 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years until your contract's up to then potentially take out a new network connection with us. No, we can start this right now. We can fix this right now. Hello, my name's Joseph from Raydiant, and here we exist to keep businesses online, bettering networks for businesses, and making connectivity all it can be. So what I'm going to do in this video is go over all of the things that OmniNet does. Now, OmniNet is essentially ISP aggregation, or our take on ISP aggregation. What is ISP aggregation? For those that are not technical, it's the bonding of multiple networks into one solid connection. So say, for example, you've got a 5G router, a fiber connection, and maybe a copper connection. Or you've got 5 different 5G routers, but you want to use them all at the same time because you want to supercharge your network. That is essentially what OmniNet does. Now, what I've done on this whiteboard, because I'm quite a visual person and I also can forget some of the notes that I mentally make, I've made notes on all of the benefits that OmniNet has over what most enterprise level businesses have, which is called failover, which I'll get onto later. So the first point is bonded networks. With our technology, I've got a Raydiant aggregation device here, a RAD for short. This is like one of the types of RADs that we offer. I'll put a B-roll of the bigger ones that we offer for comms cabinets and for larger networks. But with this technology here, we can take any network connection that you have and put them all into one solid connection. There is no backups here. Whatever your network is, whatever you're using on your network runs over all of the lines that you will plug in on here. That's bonded connections. The second one is ultimate uptime. So I mentioned something called failover before, and I really just wanted to do a comparison very quickly. So failover is when you have a backup connection that kicks in when your main connection checks out. Here, that is not the same. They are all running at the same time. I have an infographic which I'll put on screen which demonstrates how one connection stops and another one starts. OmniNet keeps you going. It doesn't discriminate against what network connections you have or what types. As long as it fits on the end of an Ethernet cable, you can route it, you can run it, you can bond it. My next point, which is any speed. Our packages range all the way from 50 megabytes to 5 gigabytes of bandwidth. The next one we have is the boosting in performance. I refer back to the technical demo because it's one thing to have a 4G router that gives you 100 megabytes per second, but you've already got a fiber broadband that gives you 500 meg. And you might think plugging in a 5G router means it's not going to be represented there, only really run in the background and it won't really actually add the performance. But no, it actually does. That's how smart the technology is. We really just try and make the complex simple. Using all your connections at the same time. Now, I've already covered this with bonded connections, but the reason why I wanted to mention this is because, again, just to highlight, and I will do a video on bonded connections, so not just OmniNet, but bonded connections in general versus failover and why I believe it's better for businesses. But you are using it all at the same time. You're not paying hundreds, thousands of pounds a year for a backup line that's catching dust and burning a hole in your pocket when you could be using them all at the same time. Another thing that's really important here, and I'm more addressing the technical people here in this, no matter how many network connections you have, you will sit behind one static IP address, meaning those that have firewalls and have their own domain setups, in-house connections, etc. If you need your files, your storage, your infrastructure to point to one IP address, but you still want to be able to use multiple connections, this is exactly what you need. Our RAD has one public static IP address included in it. They are our IP addresses. If you're talking about failover, for example, you need to be able to make it point to different IP addresses because they're separate connections, they're not in one. This puts it all into one branch, it's one mix. Another thing that we offer with OmniNet, now this is more on the service side of things of what we do as a company here, is we will manage your ISPs for you. So it's not just a case of us giving you this RAD and then we also offer you support as and when, you know, it breaks, etc. What we are aiming to do and what we aim to do and what we will do is that we can be a point of contact, your main point of contact with your network providers to manage your connections for you. Another thing as well is that, so we will handle those level of tickets or those requests or those issues on your behalf, so you don't have to. Proactive monitoring, as I've mentioned before, we will let you know when your network connection goes out before you even notice. And not just when it goes out, but if we notice any funny business, or you say, look, we're expecting a gig's worth of speed here of this line, you know, can you give us a report on performance for however long within a certain window? We'll do that. We'll proactively do that for you. And no need for new network suppliers. So in case that hasn't been gathered up until this point, one of the main things for us here, Raydiant, internally with OmniNet, is that we exist to take your current network connections and make them better. Meaning, you don't need to cancel any contracts or pay any termination fees with a supplier if you wanted this technology. It works with the connections you already have. And like I said, it's not just the fiber ones, it's not just copper. It could be 5G routers you got laying around and you want to just bolster it together. Yes, we can supply lines for you. So it's all under one banner if you really wanted to do that. But the importance for us here is for us to take your pain points as they are right there and then, and not wait 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years until your contract's up to then potentially take out a new network connection with us. No, we can start this right now. We can fix this right now. The last thing, which is really important to us, again, as a package, which doesn't really focus on the technology side of things, all of this is under one subscription. It's very important to us, again, that everything's under one subscription. In a previous life, I used to be an IT operations manager, and I cannot begin to tell you how long and how frustrating it is when it comes to contract negotiations or finding suppliers, or even just a simple question of, well, what do we pay for, when your operations director is talking to you, to then go through and traipse through many different contracts, all for the same thing. And that's it. As I've mentioned before, there will be a link to the technical demo below in the description. It's in our channel. If you have any questions, or you have any concerns or anything that I may have missed on this board, then please do let me know, and we'll be replying to comments. And it'll be actually really good to hear, you know, what your thoughts are. And if this is of any interest to you or your business, or you know of anyone with a business that could do with this kind of technology, let us know. Again, our contact details will be in the description. And yeah, that's it. Take care, people.